Hey everybody, it's Bob, and this is episode number 5, Coronavirus and the Independent Retailer podcast. Sorry for the confusion. Our dog wanted to go out, then decided he didn't want to go out. Joe was chasing him around the house. So of course there's a little bit of quick confusion right before we went live. So today's Friday, day 5 of this podcast. How much things have changed. Yesterday, we went into lockdown. I can't believe that New York State is far behind. That's just my opinion. California is a fact, of course. But things continue to change. And as you know, as we know, it's tiring. It's wearing. Uncertainty is stressful, and being on the WhizBang retailers page for in the report about the coronavirus, Viktor Frankl, in his book Search for Meaning, he was stuck in a concentration camp. You know, one of the most dire circumstances anyone can really be put in, and he found a way to make the best of it. And the essence of what he learned there is it's not your circumstance, it's how you react to your circumstance. So that's why we've been talking about stress in action for the last 5 days. What are you doing? What can you do? The best way to respond to stress is with physical movement. Do something. But it's also an emotional reaction about what is good. Last night I woke up in the middle of the night and it was raining, and a roof of rain on the roof is something I really loved. But last night, just because of how this thing is going, the first thing I thought of is, oh, there are some poor sons of bitches who are homeless, living outside, and living with the fear of the coronavirus. You know, so the silver lining is I have a warm house. I have a roof over our head. So let's just kind of take a look at it. Fish are coming back. It's a silver lining. If you look at satellite images of Wuhan, typically those skies are filled with pollution. Now they're starting to clear up. So at a very, very, very real, we're giving our planet a break. No, let me change that. Our planet is forcing us to take a break, but that's a silver lining, isn't it? Less gas, we're driving less, we're putting less carbon monoxide into the air. On a personal level, you know, here, Susan and the boys and I, we're home, we're together, we're safe. You know, we have supplies to last for a little while. That is a blessing, that is a silver lining. We have chosen to have a family dinner together every day. You know, those conversations, they are a blessing. It's a silver lining. You know, just the ability on a personal level to become more resilient. You are learning lessons every day. I am learning lessons every day. We are learning how to engage our sense of humor. We are learning to be more compassionate. We are learning to be less self-centered. So there are silver linings for all of us personally. But then let's talk about your business also. Let's talk about your business. What is the silver lining for your business? And I know some of you are going, there is no silver lining in my business, and I get your feeling. But here's what I know. Again, through several crises in my entrepreneurial career, some of them incredibly severe. What I learned was that every time I go through a crisis, I get smarter, I get wiser, I'm more resilient. I put tools in my toolbox that I never had before. When it's done, I am a better business person because of what I went through. And you may not feel that gratitude around that right now, but I just really want you to recognize that that is a silver lining. You know, we have 2 clients. I only know of 2. I'm sure we have more than 2. But Gene and Fabienne both, Fabienne's in the Platinum Mastermind group, and Gene's been a big part of this community for a long time. Both of them have had stores that burned to the ground. You know, like done. There's no store there anymore. It's a complete total loss. And what both of them say is that it was one of the best things that ever happened to their business. None of them said it was easy. None of them said it was fun. None of them said, oh, I would love to go through that again. But for both of them, it taught them things. It gave them an opportunity to re-envision their business. You know, you're adapting new strategies all the time. A lot of you are doing Facebook Live for the very first time. A lot of you are doing selling for the very first time. A lot of you are hustling like you've never, ever, ever hustled before. All of these are silver linings. You're learning your lesson. You're getting better, baby. And it may not make it more comfortable right now, but it's true. And just recognize it and find a little solace in it. Here's something else that I know that's happening. This is the perfect opportunity for you to get rid of those toxic employees. You know who they are. You know you've probably been wanting to get rid of them for a while. Well, here is your chance to do it easily and painlessly and never get them back. You know, this is really a chance for you to build a great culture with the people who you want to have around you the most. And so that when this is done, and this will be done, you will come out of it better, stronger than ever. Another silver lining. Let's see what else I have here. Oh, I know. Fundamentals. You know, so if you've listened to that interview with Rich Rose, and I hope that you have, you know that Rich talked about, hey, if you want to get a loan, your books need to be in order. And I can tell you for a fact that my books at the Mackinac Kite Company weren't really in order for many, many, many years. And, you know, so all of these things that make you a fundamentally strong business person are going to be revealed to you during this coronavirus. So if you don't have tight books, if your books are kind of sloppy and you realize you need to go to the SBA for a loan, you're going to need to tighten them up. And when you tighten up your books, you're going to be a better business person. Things like this is an opportunity for you to work on your training skills. This is an opportunity for you to get tight. So if you have the Retail Mastery System, this might be the time when you go through and spend an hour a day when it's slow. Just go through the Retail Mastery System. Build your training program. Build the marketing plan. You know, really start to work on your business. Use the downtime to become a better business person. Work on your sales skills. You know, make sure that you're working on, you know, every customer counts in a way that it's never been before. So are your customers tight? Do they know? Are they using the 6 steps to the perfect purchase? Are you coaching them? This is so important. Make sure that you are tight.
Even on the phone, and especially on the phone.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, but yes, Susan is exactly right. So a lot of you are doing phone orders now. We've talked about that a lot. Remember, if you were a couple episodes ago, we talked about, or maybe it was Tuesday, I don't even remember anymore. But this whole idea of when you're doing social selling, I encourage you to have people call on the phone. Why? Because when they call on the phone, you get an opportunity to build relationships, ask questions, engage in questioning and listening. The 6 steps to the perfect purchase. Add on. So now is the time. If you have the Retail Sales Academy, dig into it with your team. Get better, get tighter. Use that information to make sure that you're getting the absolute most out of every single transaction. And so just, you know, there are real silver linings here. There are real silver linings here. You just have to look a little harder and show some gratitude for them when they come, because it's tiring. This whole thing is tiring. And your challenge, my challenge, Susan's challenge is to situation and make the best of it. So before we get to questions or your silver linings, if you have any silver linings to share, there was something else that I was going to add, but I'm tired, so my brain's not working so well. So, do we have any questions, Susan?
No questions, but a couple of silver linings.
Oh, before we get there, I just remembered what I was going to say. So
good.
Can I chime in there
course.
first? Okay, so here's the thing with information, and I know that it's happening to me too, is that my inbox is filled with information about how to deal with the coronavirus from people I respect, and I go, oh, I want to hear what he has to say. Oh, I want to hear what she has to say. Oh, I want to hear what they have to say. And it all sort of gets lost in the jumble, doesn't it? I mean, it's like a fire hose of information. It becomes overwhelming. Yesterday, we talked about chunking, doing the unpleasant tasks at one time, doing your education when you have some time. And I would encourage you to use WhizBang retailers that way. You know, there is an enormous amount of good information on that page, an enormous amount. But if you don't approach it correctly, it will just become stressful, right? A lot of people are expressing their stress and anxiety, and that's natural and it's okay. That's one of the reasons that page is there. But there's also so much good information. So I would encourage you to, rather than just jump in and jump off of out of that community, WhizBang retailers, I would encourage you to schedule time and then go through.
Just ignore him.
Oh, just ignore him? Okay.
Continue on.
All right. I apologize. Go through and say, I want to read this thread. I want to read, in order for the community to be as effective as possible, it's important that people are being thoughtful, not just throwing their emotions onto the page. So, you know, spend some time, be strategic, be careful, you know, and make sure that that WhizBang Retailers page is a positive, uplifting experience that will help you move forward. So, okay.
And another thing we can announce now that all of the content from WhizBang Training is ready to go on one single page. They can find it in one place now. WhizBangTraining.com/coronavirus.
That's great. So, perfect, because this was one of our concerns. There's so much information everywhere, and we wanted you to be able to find the content from us in one place so you could do exactly what we just shared. So it's WhizBangTraining.com / is that correct?
Yeah,
/coronavirus. And all of the things that we're creating for you will all go there. So every day, the daily podcast, this podcast will go there. The Tuesday community forums will go there. The interviews will go there. So you can see if what you want is to learn, you can go to one place and not have to sort through the rest of the conversations. So thank you for sharing that, Susan.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Silver linings. People are sharing their silver linings.
Some silver linings and some great questions as well. So I'm going to scroll back up here to Julie. She was the first one to post her silver lining. She says, it's a great opportunity for us to get to do those things we never get a chance to do. I'm pumped.
There you go. Pumped.
So
all right.
All of those important tasks that maybe get put to the side.
Yeah.
Because you're so busy.
Yeah.
Yep. Teresa says, we've been talking among our family for the last few days about what we are grateful for. We sure do have a lot to be grateful for.
That is who was that who said that, Teresa?
Teresa.
That is exactly right, Teresa. And we have to recognize that. You know, we have to recognize that. Oh, I don't. Sam, can you go look and see if on the mantle is my little coin? You know, you are absolutely correct. We have so much to be thankful for. We're here. Is it there? Okay, don't worry about it. We're here. We're in business. Yes, times are difficult, but we have so much to be thankful for. And the thing is, we have to be incredibly proactive about looking for it. nobody signed up for the coronavirus. Nobody signed up. Nobody signed up for this right now. But we did become business people. And when you sign up to become a business person, sometimes the suck comes with it. We talked, when was it, 2 days ago, about Joe and Sam and their experiences on the trail. And Sam was talking about the fact that he had to, when he was up above 15, 16, 17,000 feet in India, they had to melt the snow to drink water. And the water didn't taste good. It tasted like fuel, but it was good to have water. That whole deal of, look, nobody likes to melt the snow, but you have a choice. Melt the snow or not drink. We have a couple of choices. We can approach this whole situation with honor and integrity and bravery. Acknowledge that we're scared. We can acknowledge that this is difficult. We can acknowledge the stress and the anxiety. But at the end, and I did my journaling, and it was like, buck up, buttercup. This is your deal. Who are you going to be? You going to have some swagger and get in front of the camera and go get them, fellas? Or you just going to... that's how I felt this morning. Now I'm going, what?
We've got a lot more questions
Oh,
than silver linings. You're kind of going on, huh?
All right, hey, okay.
But other people like to talk
All right,
too.
all right. So this here.
Teresa, sorry, babe.
Sorry about that.
Teresa
Man,
says,
I finally got my energy back and she's shutting me down.
I'm just saying. Otherwise, because I'm like, you'll keep going for another hour.
Not an hour. I'm just about ready to wrap
Teresa
it.
says we're
Hey,
finally
Joe,
gonna.
or can one of you guys get me some water, please?
I think we're finally shook up enough to build a real cash emergency fund.
Yeah. True story. So can I speak to that for just a moment?
Of course.
Cash emergency fund. Our credit card processing partner is PayRock, and not only do they have a $1,000 meet it or beat it guarantee, which you should, especially when cash is tight, you should take a look at, meaning if they can't beat your rate or match your, thank you, Sammy, so much. If they can't match or meet your rate, they'll give you $1,000. They also emailed us and told us that they created a couple of real easy programs. They'll ship you a credit card terminal. So if you're doing work out of your home, like we've been talking about doing, if you're trying to do e-commerce business, but you're not set up for it, they have sort of put together a rapid response team to help you. So the email, and I'm going to get to the program in just a second, but the email address is WhizBang@Payrock, and it's PAYROC.com. But here's where I wanted to go. So, great resources. We love them. We encourage you to check them out. Won't take long, and you got a little time right now. But they also have two super, to this account. And I remember talking to Beth Staley about it, and she said, my sister, who is my bookkeeper, we did not take out very much money. We never missed the money. And all of a sudden we looked and there was quite a bit of money. So I love what you're saying, Teresa, and I'd encourage you to check out PayRock because you're going to spend what you get, right? If you don't see it, you don't spend it. And if you just took 1 or 2% of your sales or whatever number works for you and just had it into that rainy day fund, that rainy day fund sits there, it grows, you don't see it, you don't spend it, you deal with the cash you have. So I love that silver lining.
Yeah,
By the way, we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's that's a great one. And then a couple of great questions here. One great question from Sarah. She says, with people working from home, what time of day would be best to call our customers?
I don't know. I think that the answer is you test. I think this is all brand new. I remember watching a trailer for the movie Happiness, and it's when Will Smith was a homeless stockbroker. He's a stockbroker, but he's living in his car, and he was making his calls from the payphone. But what he found was that executives are usually there in the morning before their secretaries get there, and that's when they pick up the phone. So he learned to get on the phone early and called before secretaries came in and ran interference. So, it's all about you and your business. So what I would do is I would start testing. It could be that it's early in the morning before they start. It could be at lunch. I don't know. Everybody's business is different. Everybody's customer group is different. And I want to say something else because I wanted to reply to Marie Foley. Yesterday, Marie Foley indicated that she tried 20 calls and it didn't work well. She said, but and so she quit. Now she's going to send postcards. And first of all, congratulations. Good job, Marie. But I would also say if you're doing the same message 20 times, you're not really testing. And I'm not saying this is what Marie did, but it could be that you test, hey, just calling to check in to figuring out what works, doing more of what's working and doing less of what's not working. So sorry I don't have a good answer for you, but the answer is to test.
Yeah, I think that actually is a really good answer and the correct answer because there's no one right answer for any particular business. So
yes.
This is a good question from Cheryl. She asks,
Hi, Cheryl.
how important is business interruption insurance? And I'll just
chime in.
I'll just chime in a little bit and say that most business interruption insurance is important, especially for things like if you have a fire or if there's a break-in or something that causes you to lose some days of business. Most business interruption insurance has exceptions for things like war, pandemic.
Like this.
Unfortunately, I think we're in an exception right now. So,
yes.
But it depends on the insurance. You have to check your own policy.
So, and I think you brought up a very good point, Susan. And this goes back to this whole idea of be calm, be thoughtful, make a plan, move forward. When you need to panic for a moment, it's okay. Have your meltdown, get back to work. It's going to happen. But all of these things, this is why I so strongly encourage you to listen to the interview with Rich Rose. Rich Rose this is what he does. And he laid out the plan that he does with all of his clients who are struggling, how to deal with cash, very, very thoughtful and methodical. He also deals with the capital. If you choose not to borrow money, you have that right. But if you are confident that your business is going to make it just fine and you know that you're going to need some money to a bridge loan to get you through the uncertain times, now is the time to start getting your ducks in a row. That was the other thing that Rich talked about in the interview. What do the capital markets look like right now? What is happening with SBA? We talked about American Express merchant financing. So the whole point is not to just live in this world of nervous, anxious energy, but to recognize that you're going to have some of those moments. Let them come, let them go. They're going to happen. But then be thoughtful, make a plan, keep moving forward, do everything you can to get it through to the next day. I think it was in episode 2, way back on Tuesday. I talked about when Brother Steve and I went through a crisis, we had a motto. We're never going to be successful in business if we're not in business. So every day that we opened the store, it was one day closer to the end, to getting us out of the hole that we were in. And every day that you are still in business, you are one day closer to the end of this pandemic. You're one day closer to having your store back open and doing the things that you do. So
day by day.
Day by day. Survive in advance, baby. Survive in advance. So, okay.
You're not going to break into song from Jesus Christ Superstar?
I don't know that one.
Day by day.
Oh, yeah, that was our class song. Oh, my God, what a terrible song. No, it's good.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
All right, anyway, some great silver linings here from
Okay.
Rebecca Combs.
Rebecca, hi.
We've been meaning to do online classes for a long time. Our first one is tomorrow.
Be surprised if after this is all said and done that our business model has changed quite a bit.
Yours might too.
Yours might too. That's
we're-
and that was my point.
We're going to hear that in just a minute from
Okay.
Misha, but I'm
Okay.
going down the list. Frida says,
Hi, Frida.
I'm definitely been working on things that we've had no time for. For my grooming business, we've been calling all of our customers and offering a discount on future appointments.
There you go. Great. That's perfect.
Exactly. Very, very good.
Because their dogs are going to need to be groomed.
And she did put some cute tips in here on the comment thread about how to keep your dog in good shape during this pandemic if you're not using your groomer right now. So,
That's wonderful. Thank you, Frida.
yeah, here's Misha from hot and sunny Delaware shores. Misha, don't rub it in, man. We're up here in Michigan. It's still cold. Anyway, she says our silver lining is having clienteling ready to go for our Troll Beats customers and able to move our 3-day artisan festival virtual, which is her 3-day Troll Beats festival does massive amounts of sales. So she's going on, taking a challenge and going for it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
But that idea of like, wow, I see that my business could be way different even in the best of times.
Yes, even in the best of times. And thank you. And by the way, Misha's one of our favorite retailers. She's a Platinum Mastermind Group member. And Misha crushes it. And I just love her enthusiasm for all things. There was something that I was going to say, but I forgot. Other silver linings.
Yes.
Oh, no, I know what I was going to say.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
say do some more.
I know what I was going to say. So, Susan and I have been thinking about marketing, we've been thinking about you and what you can do all the time for the last 2.5 weeks. We're going to take a break this weekend just because but anyway, I think that we have really sort of figured out what the WhizBang retail marketing system looks like here in this whole pandemic. And on Tuesday, we're going to have a meeting of the Retail Marketing Club. And the plan right now is to say, here's the retail marketing system, WhizBang retail marketing system. This is what it looks like. This is how we look at marketing in this pandemic. So it's going to be the system, the process, which remains valid no matter what. But how do you adapt this system, this awesome marketing system for independent retail, and apply it to these new rules that we're experiencing right now? So it's only $29 to join. You can cancel your membership at any time. If you're part of this community and you really want great information to help you grow your business, you really need to join. I mean, we're happy to do all of this stuff for free, but what isn't happening here is sort of a systemic, and like at $29, you really can't afford not to join. So, okay.
Yep. So here's another silver lining. Linda says, we are refinancing because interest rates are so low. We want to be proactive.
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent.
We're doing the same.
We are, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Frida, same gal with the pet grooming, says they are doing Facebook Lives to show people how to properly shampoo their dogs. So
Nice. So here's going to be my prediction. My projection. Joe Biden wins the Democratic nomination. That's pretty safe, right? Pretty safe projection. Safe projection. Is that live video is, and Misha kind of alluded to this, live video is going to be an important part of your marketing in the future. In the past, it was like, oh, that's an interesting idea, and we had a couple clients who were using it a little bit, but once you start to really see the opportunity of engaging your customers in a meaningful way virtually, and how you can use that in conjunction with your brick and mortar store, I think it's going to be a fundamental shift in the way that brick and mortar stores market their businesses. And, and when you're doing business the way you've always done business, there's no real need to make these big changes. This is the silver lining, is I think that It's going to it's going to be a big part of what happens in the future, social selling through live videos, and it's going to make you a better retailer. You're going to build your business from it. So good.
All right, I don't think we have any other questions or silver linings at this point.
Okay.
So we are way past our allotted 15 to 20 minutes.
But that's okay. We asked for.
Yep, we asked for questions, so.
And I want to say thank you to all of you who stayed around, and thank you to all of you who shared your silver linings with us. I know I feel better now going into the weekend. And just as an aside, we won't be doing this podcast on Saturday and Sunday. And Susan and I we won't be on the Facebook, WhizBang Retailers Facebook group. It is time for us to take a digital break. I just want to end by saying we appreciate you so much. We appreciate everything you do so much. The importance that you and your store have to your community, it cannot be overstated. Thank you for all that you do. See you later, everybody. Just remember, keep washing your hands.